week when we did this with Steve, he had the good idea of kicking off with the idea of heroes, musical heroes. Have either of you two ever worked with your musical heroes? Steve, start with you.
I have.
I mean, you may have met them, but I mean, have you actually worked with them?
Yes. Yeah. I've been in situations where I just couldn't believe it. You know, I could tell you the Chaka Khan story. I could tell you the Robert Palmer story, Barry White.
Let's have them all. Let's have them all. Start with Chaka Khan.
Well, okay. So I was the MD of a band. You know, black people have this disease called sickle cell anemia. I was part of an organisation which would every year put on a gala to raise funds towards, you know, helping this, helping this disease. I was in the band for probably about 8 years or something like that, and I eventually got to be the MD. And on the very last gig, they announced that Chaka Khan was going to be the guest of honour. And we went mental. You know, I mean, this show, you know, people were killing to get on this gig. You know, we had Aswad, Errol Brown. I can't even remember. Misha Paris, just everybody that was anybody. Billy Ocean. Anybody that was anybody would appear on this. You know, I think the first one had Weller and Cliff Richard, right, and Errol Brown. So anyway, it developed into this thing. It outran itself, to be honest. It just into this juggernaut kind of thing. And so anyway, the governor comes in. The chairman was Garth Crooks, and if you're a football man, you know exactly who he is. Yeah, we got Chaka Khan as a guest, as a guest, and we went mental. What? She's not going to perform with us? No, she's just there as a guest. So, like, you know, I had some top players in this band. This band was the stiffest band I've ever worked with, apart from my own band, that is. We were a bit disappointed when they said, no, she's just going to be a guest of honour. So I said, I'll tell you what, boys, we're going to learn Ain't Nobody. And when they bring her in, we'll get up on stage and lick it, just to show her that we got the chops. So we learnt it, you know, and on the night, I think Aswad were on. In fact, you know, it was Billy Ocean, Lulu, who I nearly lost my mind. Anybody that's been anywhere near the Beatles, right, you know, whenever I'm here, I start smelling them and go, ooh, you've been near the Beatles. Anyway, so Lulu, Billy Ocean were the top of the bill. Aswad were on, and I can't remember who else, but it was just like some astonishing night. And on the night, here she comes. They start bringing her in. Everybody stands up. It's 80 quid a ticket. This is 95, right? And you've got just about everybody you've ever heard of in the music business there. So I said, boys, let's go. So we jumped on stage and hit it. We had the groove down. Even then, you know, all the audience were like, oh, right? And she stopped dead in her tracks, man, because we hit it really hard. And we hit it for about 2 minutes, less than that probably, and walked off, right? So the show starts going on, you know, and it's just, you know, you had to be there, right? It's just a fantastic night. And we kept sending notes to her, come and get up, man. She was like, nah, they were filling her full of champagne and stuff and all this kind of business. She said, no, I'm having a good time and stuff. And, you know, Misha knew her quite well. So she said, listen, boys, don't worry about it. I'll get her to go. Eventually, we get this note. Chaka Khan wants to come and play with us because trust me, the band was stiff. All of a sudden, I've got to get out in front of the mic and I'll go, ladies and gentlemen, Chaka Khan. The place went completely bonkers, right? Completely bonkers, right? She gets up on stage and we hit it, you know, Ain't Nobody. Pandemonium, right? And it was just a complete smash, right? And that's the only tune we knew, right? And then she starts calling tunes. right? And we're like, what?
that showed you.
Yeah. But the thing is, we were all Rufus fans, right? However, the Rufus fan tunes are quite complicated, right? Used in alternate jazz chords and all this kind of business, right? She starts calling these tunes, and her bass player replaced our bass player just to help out and stuff, right? Then she called up the choir. So we ended up with about 95,000 musicians up on stage, right? Getting completely out of hand because Billy Ocean and Lulu still had to go on. And it was beginning to look like an insult, right? So I have the distinction of having Chaka Khan thrown off stage. Right? We were supposed to do 3 songs with Lulu. One was a ballad. So while Chaka was on stage, she's going to me, Steve. And she goes to me, no, I'm going to drop the ballad, man. I'm going, And I'm like, why? We'd spent a lot of time working on it and stuff, making it sound good. So Lulu comes on, and she starts singing, and this dude gets up and starts dancing with her. She was a total star, and the guy got off. So that was cool. Right, so then she gets into which just pandemonium again. Right, the guy gets back up on stage. He starts dancing. Now this time he's getting a bit too familiar. That's where the security failed because they were right over the other side of this huge room. Right, and I remember like Lulu sort of swimming around and looking at me. Right, now I happen to be a martial artist. This guy was getting a bit hectic. So I got off the stage and I went back on the stage and I got hold of him. And I whispered in his ear, look, man, you've had your fun. Come on now, just get off, right? He reared up, and there's a point under your arm here, right? If you press on it, you can make a man pass out. I happen to know exactly where it was. And he started like, rearing up like he was a bad man. And I put my thumb on it and I got hold of him and I put my thumb on that, which makes your shoulder go up like this. And I paralyzed him and I said, get the fuck off now. And I escorted him off. So, and then Lulu tore the house down. So that's...
Your Vulcan death grip saved the day.
Yeah.